Hello there, welcome to Siyasat TV. It is Monday, March 22nd, 2021. I am Sumaya Junaid Ahmed in Hyderabad, where we get you all the big news stories of the day from across the India and the world. And here is our top headlines.
Vague corruption claims to divert Ambani security probe, says NCP chief Sharad Pawar. BJP unveils its manifesto for West Bengal elections, vowing to clear implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act in the first cabinet meeting of the new government. Court denies bail to activist father Stan Swamy in Elagar Parishad case. Need to make a Delhi in Bengaluru Ghero city, says farmer leader Rakesh Tikait in Karnataka. Secret India-Pakistan peace plan broke by United Arab Emirates royals, says report. Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao says 30 percentile fitments to government staff in Telangana. Corona affect Telangana government, likely to end assembly session ahead of schedule. Anti-lockdown protests break out in Europe amid new COVID wave.
Let us begin with our top story. NCP chief Sharad Pawar said today former Mumbai top cop Parambir Singh's allegations against the Home Minister Anil Deshmukh are just meant to remove attention from the investigation into the Mukesh Ambani security scare case. Mr. Singh's corruption allegations against the Home Minister have landed the Uddhav Thackeray-led state government into a huge controversy since last week. Meanwhile, Nationalist Congress Party chief Sharad Pawar found himself in a tough spot after reporters questioned his claims that Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who is accused of demanding extortion money for Sachin Waze, was hospitalized on 15th of February.
सर देखिए ना, ये अनिल देशमुख का खुद का ट्वीट है। 15 फरवरी का ट्वीट है सर। 15 फरवरी का ट्वीट है सर। उनकी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है। मेरे पास 15 Do you want to see it? I'll show it to you. This is 15 फरवरी का सर्टिफिकेट है। Sir, this is Anil Deshmukh's Twitter page. If you want to see. I am giving this. That's fine, sir. But he has just press conference.
वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग ची प्रेस कॉल होती है.
अच्छा, I was told this is a video conferencing statement.
What statement? VC किया है। ये देखो घर पे खड़े बैठे
में बैठेंगे ना वीसी में आदमी घर पे ही बैठता है। सर माइक आईडी
जो कहते ये वीसी की बात है, जो बताया आपके सामने बताया, इसलिए मैं इस पे कुछ कहना नहीं चाहता। और इम्पोर्टेंट गोस ये नहीं है। इम्पोर्टेंट गोस ये बात है कि ये इनके घर के सामने जो बात हुई थी, एक जिसकी हत्या हुई, वो 2 इसकी हत्या को कौन जिम्मेदार है, वो 3। ये सीरियस बात आप छोड़कर आप डाइवर्ट कर रहे हैं, ये बात ठीक नहीं। इतना मुझे कहना है।
Mr. Pawar had questioned the officer's motive yesterday, pointing out that he had made allegations only after being moved out from the top post over the lapses in an investigation into Ambani bomb scare case. Mr. Parambir Singh, moved out of Home Guards after lapses in Mukesh Ambani security scare probe, has accused Mr. Deshmukh of corruption and interference in police work.
Moving on to our next story, BSP chief Mayawati today targeted the Yogi Adityanath government over the Hathras gang rape case, saying new facts emerging in the matter have raised serious questions on the working of the state government.
Her remarks come in the backdrop of Allahabad High Court directing the Hathras District Judge and CRPF Inspector General Central Sector to inquire whether the prosecution, witness and the lawyers of the Dalit girl who were allegedly raped and died due to her injuries were threatened before a special judge during the trial on 5th of March. The 19-year-old Dalit woman was allegedly raped by 4 upper caste men in Hathras on 14th of September. She died on 29th of September at Delhi Safdarjung Hospital during treatment. The victim was cremated in the dead of the night near her home on 30th of September. Her family alleged they were forced by the local police to hurriedly conduct her last rites.
Alright, the BJP on Sunday unveiled its manifesto for the West Bengal elections, promising to build a sonar bangla by providing employment, strengthening social security schemes and vowing to clear implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act in the first cabinet meeting of the new government. The centre is yet to frame new rules for implementing the CAA, which has faced strong opposition from Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who took to the streets against the laws in last December 2019.
Mr. Shah also announced the refugee families living here for 70 years will be granted citizenship. Every refugee family will be given rupees 10,000 annually for 5 years through direct benefit transfer. He said that his party would work towards building a safe Bengal, an appeasement-free Bengal and an infiltration-free state if voted to power.
A special NIA court in Mumbai today rejected the bail plea filed by the tribal rights activist Stan Swamy, arrested in Elgar Parishad Maoist links case. Additional Session Court Judge D.E. Kotilakar rejected bail pleas of 83-year-old Stan Swamy on merits as well as on medical grounds. Stan Swamy, a Jesuit priest and activist, was arrested from Ranchi in October 2020 and has since been lodged at a Taloja jail in Navi Mumbai.
Father Stan Swamy is suffering from Parkinson's disease and he has lost the ability to hear from both his ears. He also suffers from several other ailments. The National Investigation Agency has opposed Stan Swamy's bail plea, saying the probe had revealed that Stan Swamy was staunch supporter of organizations such as Visthapan Virod Jan Vikas Andolan and People's Union for Civil Liberties, which were working as fronts of CPI Maoists. Stan Swamy's lawyer Sharif Sheikh had argued that the NIA had failed to establish Stan Swamy's connection to Elgar Parishad Maoist link case.
Well, amid the protests by farmers at the border of Delhi against the 3 central farm laws, Bharatiya Kisan Union leader Rakesh Tikait urged the farmers in Karnataka to organize a protest in the state similar to the one in the national capital and Ghero Bengaluru from all sides. Addressing a farmers meeting in Karnataka Shivamogga on Saturday, Rakesh Tikait said a strategy has made to snatch lands away from farmers in the state.
कई लाख लोग दिल्ली के चारों तरफ को हैं और अभी ये लड़ाई लंबी चलेगी। अब ये लड़ाई यहीं खत्म नहीं होगी, ये आंदोलन लंबा चलेगा। ये आंदोलन हमको हर शहर शहर में चलाना पड़ेगा। जब तक ये 3 कानून वापसी नहीं होते, एमएसपी पे कानून नहीं बनता, ये आंदोलन आपको कर्नाटक में भी चलाना पड़ेगा। ये आंदोलन आपको लंबा चलाना पड़ेगा। आपको कर्नाटक के अंदर ही दिल्ली बनानी पड़ेगी, बेंगलोर को दिल्ली बनाने पड़ेगा, बेंगलोर को चारों तरफ से उसी तर्ज पे घेरना पड़ेगा। यहां पे दूसरे लोग भी आपके पास आ जाएंगे। आंदोलन ट्रैक्टर से होगा, गाड़ियों से नहीं। जैसे दिल्ली में आज भी करीब 25-30 हजार ट्रैक्टर दिल्ली के चारों तरफ को हैं, आप लोग भी अपना आंदोलन ट्रैक्टर से करना।
About 24 hours after military chiefs from India and Pakistan surprised the world last month with a rare joint commitment to respect a 2003 ceasefire agreement, the top diplomat from United Arab Emirates popped over New Delhi for a quick one-day visit. Yet behind doors, the India-Pakistan ceasefire marked a milestone. Secret talks broke by UAE that has been months earlier, according to officials aware of the situation who asked not to be identified.
One official said the ceasefire is only the beginning of a larger roadmap to forge a lasting peace between the neighbors, both of which have nuclear weapons and spar regularly over decades-old territory dispute. The official said the next step in the process involves both sides reinstalling envoys in New Delhi and Islamabad who were pulled in 2019 after Pakistan protested India's move to end special status for Jammu and Kashmir.
And Uttarakhand Chief Minister Tirath Singh Rawat this afternoon tweeted that he has tested positive for the coronavirus. Mr. Rawat was sworn in earlier this month after the resignation of Trivendra Singh Rawat. He posted in Hindi on Twitter, "I pray for everyone's well-being."
In his tweet, the 56-year-old BJP leader said that he has gone under self-isolation. "My coronavirus test report has come positive. I am doing fine and facing no issues at all. I have gone under self-isolation under supervision of doctors. All those who have come in contact with me recently, please get yourself tested and take precautions."
As India stares at the second COVID wave, 46,951 fresh coronavirus cases and 212 deaths reported in the past 24 hours, which is the biggest single-day jump since 7th of November. The government data this morning showed India has overall reported 1,16,46,081 infections. Of these, over 1.11 crore people have recovered so far and 1,59,097 total deaths have been recorded. In the last 1 week, India has seen the sharpest surge in the fresh infections in nearly 4 months after the spread of the virus had been seen slow down. Restrictions have returned in several parts of the country as government and experts say violation of protocols is leading to the surge in cases. Telangana have recorded 337 new COVID-19 cases and 2 fatalities. Let us shift our focus to Telangana, where Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao today announced a 30% fitment in pay scales to the state government staff. The hike in salaries will come into effect from 30th of April 2021. The Chief Minister said that although the government has discussed about the fitment with the employee union many times, it has been delayed due to the pandemic and economic crisis.
He said the employees had played a key role during the Telangana movement and the employees from all the departments will be eligible for PRC. He said, adding that the salaries have been hiked out of humanitarian sense. The Chief Minister also said the vaccines that arise after the promotion will also filled up soon and so far 80% of promotions have been completed. Later in the inter-district promotions will be done. He further announced the age of pensioners will be decreased to 75 years to 70 years.
Several international passengers who travelled with negative COVID-19 reports have been found positive for the virus when they tested on arrival at the international airport in Hyderabad. Cases of international passengers being found positive in tests conducted at the airport despite having a negative report were being reported on regular basis.
Airport sources said those arriving from Middle East and United Kingdom are tested mandatorily, while passengers from countries like United States, Singapore and Maldives are allowed to go home if they carry a negative RT-PCR report of 72 hours. While it was doubted that some might be faking their test reports in order to travel, the airport sources said in case of positive results on arrival, it could be due to the quick incubation of virus during the journey. It was also possible that a person might be tested negative for some reasons before the journey despite him carrying the virus in reality.
And as the coronavirus cases surge, the Telangana government is mulling to wind up the assembly session ahead of the schedule. As per the schedule, the assembly session would continue till 26th of March. It is learned that the assembly session are likely to end in a day or two. The government would announce in after holding a business advisory committee meeting today.
Telangana has been witnessing a surge in the coronavirus cases for the last 2 weeks. The government is also likely to announce its decision on the closure of schools in the assembly session today. It is also planning to wrap up the budget session today and hold the discussions over the various taxes and passing the Appropriation Bill 2021 and conclude the assembly session.
The registration process for the Telangana State Engineering Common Entrance Test begins today. Those who wish to apply for lateral entry admission into engineering and pharmacy courses must visit to official website ecet.tschhe.ac.in and register. Candidates can apply online applications without late fee from today, which is 22nd of March to 17th of May.
The registration fee is Rs 800, Rs 400 for reserved category candidates with a late fees of Rs 250 and Rs 500. The last day to submit an application form is 31st of May and 14th of June respectively. Candidates can also register with a late fee of Rs 2500 and 5000 till 24th of June and 28th of June respectively. The application fee has to be paid at online centers in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh or online using a credit card, debit card or net banking. The Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University, Hyderabad, on behalf of Telangana State Council of Higher Education, will conduct the exam on 1st of July in 18 regional centers, 14 in Telangana and 4 in Andhra Pradesh.
Moving on to our international news, as European countries braces for another wave of infections, new coronavirus restrictions are triggering unrest. Protesters in Germany clashes with police on Saturday over coronavirus measures, with officers using water cannon, pepper spray and baton against the people trying to break through police barricades. Police against the government measures to rein into the pandemic also were reported in several other countries across Europe, including Austria, the UK, Finland, Romania and Switzerland.
More than 20,000 people participated in the protest in the central Germany of Kassel, despite a code ban, where there were also confrontations between the demonstrators and counter-protesters. Chancellor Angela Merkel said on Friday that Germany will have to apply an emergency brake and reserve some recent relaxation of restrictions as coronavirus infections accelerate. Germany's National Disease Control Center said new infections were growing exponentially as more contagious COVID-19 variants first detected in the United Kingdom has become dominant in the country. On Saturday, the Robert Koch Institute reported 16,033 new COVID-19 cases and 207 additional deaths, bringing the overall death toll to 74,565 in Germany.
Doctors and healthcare workers in Myanmar's Mandalay kicked off another day of anti-coup demonstrators staging a peaceful march and dawn in a bid minimize the risk of the confrontation with security forces.
Video posted by protesters showed hundreds of people, many of them in white coats, marching on deserted streets on Monday just as the sky was beginning to brighten. The rally came as Assistance Associate for Political Prisoners, a monitoring group, said at least 247 people have been killed during nationwide protests against the military's power grab on 1st of February. Virtually all the dead have been shooting victims and in many cases have been shot in the head. The death toll rose on Sunday with security forces opened fire on groups setting up barricades in the central town of Maniowa, killing at least one man and wounding several others.
The Saudi-led military coalition has carried out dozens of air raids against what it said were Houthi military targets in Yemen's north, including the capital Sana'a and the port of the Salif on the Red Sea coast.
The coalition, which intervened militarily in 2015 months after the Iranian-aligned Houthi group captured large parts of northern Yemen, including Sana'a, said it struck a missile and drone assembly plants in the Yemeni capital. The United Nations said air raids also hit Houthi-controlled Salif grains port north of Hodeidah, and 2 projectiles hit warehouse and the living quarters of a food production company. The port of Salif is part of a UN-broke neutral zone on the Red Sea, according to an agreement signed in 2018 in Stockholm between Yemen's warring parties.
Before we wrap up our bulletin, let's have a look on our headlines.
Vague corruption claims to divert Ambani security probe, says NCP chief Sharad Pawar. BJP unveils its manifesto for West Bengal elections, vowing to clear implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act in the first cabinet meeting of the new government. Court denies bail to activist father Stan Swamy in Elagar Parishad case. Need to make a Delhi in Bengaluru Ghero city, says farmer leader Rakesh Tikait in Karnataka. Secret India-Pakistan peace plan broke by United Arab Emirates royals, says report. Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao says 30 percentile fitments to government staff in Telangana. Corona affects Telangana government, likely to end assembly session ahead of schedule. Anti-lockdown protests break out in Europe amid new COVID wave.
That is the Siyasat TV English news from this Monday. Thanks for watching. I'm Sumaya Junaid Ahmed. Have a great day.